I'm your host, Stephen the Dream, and this is This, That, and the Third interview series. I want to give a huge shout out to Creative Eye Visuals, TZ the Flair, TZ Da Vinci behind the scenes, behind the camera. We are here with a very, very special guest in the building with me by way of Chester, South Carolina, Cedar Grove to be exact. Last year he dropped this project, Suffocate, which I thought was a dope project, dope EP put together, different mix of sound. Really got a understanding of who the Airplvne was. He came up here last year. We talked to him about that, but now he's back with a new project dropping next week, September 23rd, right? September 23rd, No Man's Land. We are back here with the one and only Airplvne. Joe, do you go by Joey Vander too?
Hey man, that's my name. Like,
yeah.
For some reason, like my middle name is Vandell, but like
Joey Vandell.
My mother marked me as Vandell.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Well, the Airplvne has landed once again. This, that, and the third interview series.
Righteous.
Glad to have you back here, man. It's
glad to be here.
We've, it's been a year since we've had you here. Last time was a little shaky, a little tumultuous, but over the past year, like we've been able to connect. And
I took my medicine today. I won't show up today.
You good? Look, I just want to ask you, like, what do you think has changed in terms of like our relationship in the past year? Like, what have you seen?
We ain't got no fuck relationship, Steve. No, I'm just kidding, man. Sometimes you assess people off one emotion. I'm working on myself to where I was raised that first impression was everything. Mm-hmm. But the older I get, the more I learn, like, you gotta reassess things and you gotta look at things outside of yourself. And it's a daily struggle, man. So like, in terms of me and you, if I couldn't coexist in your bubble, I couldn't even sit here. I find another avenue. That's just me as a person.
And I definitely respect that. And I look back at our interview and I'm like, man, like the growth, like, you know what I'm saying, that I'm seeing in like, as a person that does this, like you as an artist, and just, like I said, even the conversations and how we have now, it's just like, you can see how a lot can go on in a year.
Righteous.
You dropped the project a year ago, Suffocate.
Right.
Definitely loved it. Still think it's got a lot of dope tracks on there. You came back now this year with a new project, but instead of going to that one, your first take was Bill Parcells, right?
Ooh, man. Ooh.
Bill Parcells, right?
Well, so, you went in my file cabinet there.
Chill. We gotta do our research. It's the Airplvne. We gotta know it. But if you could think how much has changed in terms of you as an artist from that project when you were leading up to dropping it, let's go back to the week before, if you could think about it, to how you feel now about No Man's Land is about to drop.
From Bill Parcells? Man, Bill Parcells, at that time, I had caught some funk. I was looking at 8 years doing some dumb shit. Luckily, PTI exists, you know what I mean? So I avoided all that. But Bill Parcells was like a do or die energy for me. I feel like, man, if I'm about to be looking crazy, I might as well do what I want to do before I go. You know what I mean? So in terms of this project and that project, I was a kid. Like, even if anybody please find that, because I don't have a copy.
That was like it was over 10. It was over 10.
Man, hey, that was 22 songs too, like 22 songs. And I was like, I was hungry. Like, I'm still hungry now, but
it's a little different now. Sure.
But I can digest things differently. You feel me? I felt gung ho then. You feel me? I still feel gung ho. I'm aggressive in nature. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
But from then to now, I feel like then it was more so about me. Now more so my craft. It's about the collective, because to build this world, to rebuild this world, we have to kind of sort of lose a sense of self. You have to almost be selfless. You have to be self first, but you have to lose a sense of self to contribute towards the collective. And from here on out, my goal is to teach. Even with the ignorance I may spew, even with the arrogance that may come with the Airplvne, there's still lessons to be learned from my hubris.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Real quick, your name, we learned last time comes from, you was to be high. You was high in that term, but also, like you said, it evolved into higher knowledge. So now it becomes the teaching. But again, like go back to young playing, like how again I'm trying to show the growth in the terms of.
But before I was Joey the Plane, I was Deuce. I mean Deuce that's Jay Deuce. That's I was a kid. Anybody who knows Jay Deuce, man,
My boy.
niggas laugh, like, man, this nigga Jay Deuce, like, yeah, Jay Deuce, Joey the Plane, to the Airplvne, like, man, I am so thankful for growth that it's crazy how people are trying almost, either they'll try and bury their past or they'll try and amplify it to like solidify themselves or like validate themselves. It's things about my past, it's kind of like even with my content, it's things that I can go in depth about. You know what I mean? That maybe youngins will probably deem like, that's something that they could gravitate toward, but it's like, nah, like, why would I even give life to it when it's death, destruction? You know what I mean?
Right.
My life path, my birthday is 11/24/1990.
Big numbers.
Yeah. Life is numbers and science. Once you understand, that's just like the Matrix. Neo saw everything in numbers. That it's a play on reality, but it's very real. Everything is scientific. Everything is numbers. So like even with the date I dropped my projects, I sent them around the digit 9. 9 in mathematics, build and destroy. Right. I'm an agent of chaos. I build, but to pave a city, you first must break ground. You feel me? So you got to destroy to build, and you can't build unless you
You talk about paving the city. Just to go back to suffocate a little bit. Always talk about crossing counties when you gotta have your things together when it's a lot to go on. The skit in that video, in that song, I always say I love a lot. We dealing with a lot of what you were saying. And I know that song, I think might have even dated the project date in terms of like it was a little bit older.
Bro, a lot of my music is me doing inventory. Meaning like I do a lot of recording edits. Like even with No Man's Land, these are a lot of projects that were recorded. A lot of songs were recorded like 2019, the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? So like even with the track that I just dropped, I see 2020 ride with a 40 Glock, double line trying, like I see 2020, I see clearly riding with my pistol, but also I see the year riding with my pistol. You know what I mean? So, but I could, it's a gift and a curse. I can see turmoil before it even comes, and it was nothing less of that shit, man. But,
I swear.
But it's all good though, because this year helped us discern the barbecuers from the meal doers. You know what I mean?
Yes,
because
sir.
I mean everybody suffered in some kind of way. Even myself, like financially, I'm average Joe. Nothing average about me, but I'm average Joe. I got a 9 to 5. I took pay cuts and stuff. You know what I mean? It was days I laid on my couch trying to figure out. You know what I mean? I got a jig. I'm like, damn, how I'm gonna do this when everything is fixated around this that I'm used to, and then you take this away from me. So like, I started saying like, man, I gotta find something else. I gotta find something other than that, something else. So you know what I mean? That even with dealing with the reselling, you know what I mean? So like, this year was something that I saw early on. That's why songs like Control have double meanings. You know what I mean? Even with the whole concept of control, we look at our lives like we're in control, but it's also things that we have this feeling like that's just out of my control. Like even with things that happen to you, like that's out of my control. But how you react to everything, that's well in your control. You feel me?
I want to get into it when we get into the video. I want to definitely break down more control, and even about the shoes, because you say a line in "I Hate You." That's on the album. That we'll get into. I told the Airplvne, you know what I'm saying, I know this project coming up, but people might see this post. People are definitely gonna see this post as date. So even though we live, I appreciate the exclusive. I've been able to get a or the entire project.
I mean, you media, you got.
And definitely it was appreciated to listen. You know, I got a chance to run through it. I got a chance to take some notes on it. You know, as I do, I like to kind of break down a little bit of the project. I won't go into too many of the tracks, but it's just definitely a couple that, it's definitely a couple that stood out that I wanted to speak on. The intro, no leak, and I'm thinking I got them in the right one. No leak was the intro.
No leak is
the third track. Then.
Track 2.
Okay,
and,
okay.
And track 1 is
Forgive Me.
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of that project, like that goes back to the No Man's Land. There's a lot of water references, a lot of island. Talk about Cedar Grove. Talk about what it means, what No Man's Land is.
Right. So like I'm from Cedar Grove. Anybody from my area, they know what Cedar Grove is. We refer to ourselves as the island. You know, we just have a different vibe. We kind of off to ourselves. We're outside of the city limits. We in the county. You know what I mean? We talk different. We operate different. You know what I mean? The generations, you can even see the difference in the generations. My generation is different from our jits, and even as you go up in another generation above mine, you can still see the difference. But it's still the island. We still different. That's no not anybody else, because just like how the other cats come from the other side and they got their thing and they're their way, and this cats from the other side and they're their way, like we're the island, and rightfully so.
I won't spoil in terms of there's features, if there's no features on it, but I will say that you do.
They already know.
Well, yeah, if they know the plane, I guess they know. But I'll say you do keep everything in house. I tell people it's 2 names. If I hear them at the beginning of your song, if I hear I Willie Franco, and if I hear I Mix Nation, I'm gonna listen to your track more than likely because I know it's gonna sound good. He's a South Carolina, engineer, mix and masters everything. You also get a young guy from the crib, Dino, on a lot of those tracks that, he go crazy. I always give Dino a huge shots because he's got his own sound. It's just a lot of people are gravitating to.
People don't respect Dino. People don't respect. I was about to call him his nickname.
Yeah.
People don't respect Dino as much as they should. He definitely gets the respect he deserves, but he deserves so much more. It's different for me because I remember him first starting. Now I remember him telling me, man, because I'm starting making beats. You know what I mean? You need to fuck with me when you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I'll fuck with you, whatever. And I remember hearing them beats and being like, nope, I don't want
man.
Then I remember him be like, nope, I don't want. Just like niggas hear my music, be like, nah, that ain't it, Joey. That ain't it. You know what I mean? And then I remember hearing that beat, I'm like, hey, yo, rap, that's his brother. I'm like, rap, I gotta buy this beat. Right. How much you pay for it? Disclose price.
Yeah.
And then we had another input in there. He an agent of chaos. He know who he is. He's aggravating ass. He fucked the deal up. That was gonna be his first beat sale. Cause I mean, I fuck with my people. My people make beats. I spit. I'm gonna buy from him. You know what I mean? And he was like, man, why you gonna sell it to me exclusive for that price, man? You can lease that beat. You can make 10 times that. And I was like, man, you know what? Fuck. But I said all that to say, I watched Dino flourish in the Dino. You know what I mean? I watched him grow in the Dino, and I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of you, bro.
Airplvne here with us. We're going through a little bit of No Man's Land, the project coming up September 23rd. Baby Daddy. I said that's probably a controversial record. I won't say much about it. I'll say it's a bop. But if you hear the record, Baby Daddy, like I like what you did on that. Again, Joe, they gonna have to, when they go back and watch it, they'll understand everything that we saying.
The visuals are gonna be crazy. It'll make it make a little more sense.
Okay. Your visuals. Let's get into the visual. Okay. Let's get into the single Control. A lot of meaning into it. I'll first start off and ask before we actually get into the video, like, what does control mean to you, and in terms of the power that we have over it, or we may not have over it in your terms.
Got you. I seen it earlier in the week. You posted a picture in a 3-piece suit and a clip-on bow tie. Clip-on bow tie. Yeah. So I can see that, like, you were raised in the church. Were you Baptist?
Nah, AME Zion.
AME Zion, okay. I was raised Baptist, right? my mother's church closed, like they foreclosed the church. We stopped going to church. I caught a charge when I was 18, and I did the nigga thing, and I went and got baptized. So I'm a student of the game. I'm a student. I love to learn. You feel me? So when I got baptized, I read the Bible front to back. You feel what I mean? And the more I read it, and the more I understood it, the more questions I had. So I sought more, and I sought more. And I learned that religion is a tool of control. Because what's real, what people don't say, and a lot of people, I might lose a lot of people what I'm about to say.
Say Iman.
But, man, you know I am.
Say Iman.
You know I am. But a lot of people love God because they fear God. And how do you control someone best? Through fear. You know what I mean? So, like, do you really think that you put here on earth to, man, I know I'm going to suffer. I'm going to suffer all my life. But there's an other side. And I'll be happy on that other side. I'll suffer now. But at least I get to go to that other side. I may make someone rich. I may do all their bidding. But on the other side, I will finally be happy. Control. If I have your spirit, I control you. Understand what I mean? That's why it's a lot of cats in the game that lost, because they're out here trying to be themselves, not knowing that's not themselves. You know what I mean? It took me a decade to find myself. I thought I was of the streets. That's not me.
No.
But I can tell you about it, all about it. I thought I was of corporate America. I tried that lane. You know what I mean? But that's not me. I am not of society. I am not in that constraint. So what control means to me is accountability. You got to be able to say, hey, I fucked up here. Or, hey, I did this and this made me feel good. Putting your hands on your own life. Because at the end of the day, there is nothing sitting high when there's billions of people roaming the earth saying, hey, I'm going to fuck with him today. Let me test him today. Right. And there's nothing sitting low saying, hey, you know what? I got time. I'm going to fuck with you today. Because higher self, lower self is very much so real. Temptations, you know what I mean? The evils, angels, they're very much so real. But they come from within. So, who's really in control?
Airplane, this, that, and the third interview series. We're about to get into the visual right now. I want you to introduce it for the people when we get back. It's a lot into it. Got to talk about the different conflicts in it, the different scenes in it. But go ahead and introduce it for the people live so we can kick it to it.
Airplane, control.
This, that, and the third. We'll be right back.
Time and space converge where all energies surge as the human race sprints towards contention. Pay attention. A small price to live a large life. Now, let us ponder a question. What does a man already have that he finds himself so in need of more of? Don't know? Well, I'll tell you. Control. See, the big God hate the free man, yet man still finds a way to put a price on it.
Oh, I don't know what kind of creep shit you on, but I ain't for none of that shit, yo. Say something, motherfucker!
Nation for real.
I see 2020 riding. I see 2020 riding that 40 Glock. I ain't on nothing, just can't be lonesome when you ride the house. I get a little effort, but I guess it still mean a lot. It's an exorcism, how shit spinning, don't bring that demon out. Made a bitch perform on me, no need to ask what she sing about. Holla come back, she'll come brag, you just gon' ring it out. Dark pass, I'm from where blind man can't get seen about. College scouts, how we come out, time to see what your team about. I think on tip with blue chips, I like to bring them out. It's just money on my mind, don't ask what I think about. Been kicking shit, no Tai Chi. Hood stole my soul. Quan Chi, I'm Sub-Zero with the Euros. That forest get cold like the Poconos. Tryna catch me a pill. Remember I had to stretch me a zip. 3 foes and no .9s. If you ain't like it, that's just fine. Who wants to be a millionaire? I can't spell no lifelines. Still connected, landlines. Niggas step to boom, landmine, landmine. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Cover 2, how I move, never out of my zone. Like the sticks broken, quarter fold, shit get out of control. Through the dash, will I crash? This shit out of control. Watch the bad fall out the sky, now my eyes won't close. Can't sleep through the night, midday flights, to hell and back, what a life. We got it for the cheap, but still can pay full price. Only have to cross me once, and I won't think twice. I might take 1, take 2, change my whole mood. Like 2 men in the truck, I can move the whole room. We had the bags by the door, turn shop to Whole Foods. We set the table, every scene living like soul food. Niggas a mystery, how they envy me, I have no clue. Had to double up on my moves, I should rock 4 shoes. Ain't switch my word, fuck how I sound, put that on Pro Tools. They watch me harder, but I'm smarter than your Roku's. Private plane, ain't no charters for chatter, fuck talking. Had to sit on no charges that you niggas walked on. That fuck shit dead, slap some chalk on. That little bit of game he fed you, I put the sauce on. My vibes an island that you can get lost on. Ain't no rescue, my restroom, your bedroom. Ain't nobody stressing you. Say you needed time to change, I left the dressing room. The show must go on. Cover 2, how I move, never out of my zone. Like the sticks broken, quarter fold, shit get out of control. Through the dash, will I crash? This shit out of control. Watch the bad fall out the sky, now my eyes won't close. Can't sleep through the night, midday flights, to hell and back, what a life. We got it for the cheap, but still can pay full price. Only have to cross me once, and I won't think twice. I had a long motherfucking day, and my bitch just got her snaps. And nothing's gonna stop me eating up no fucking food stamp. So you get the fuck out my way.
Back in the building, this, that, and the third. Interview series, Stephen the Dream. Airplvne is in the building. We are on no man's land right now. This, that, and the airplane is what he called it. We here.
This is what it is. You remember you said I sound like OG Maco? I'll never let you forget that. Bro. I'll never let
you know what it was? I'm still holding.
You keep
I'm
saying
still
this,
gonna hold firm
what
because it's your voice. Your voice is a
OG
distinct,
Maco.
not because of the way he is a shouter or a screamer. Yeah, that's what you're basing. You don't.
People shy away from me because I don't yell. They say They say I rap too relaxed. I mean,
you are very relaxed, but your voice stands out on the beat in terms of.
You said with a
there's a song. I think I did sing you the song.
You said with a crumbled up face. He sound like OG Maco. I was like, how the fuck can I get on this shit to talk to this nigga? And I can't wait to meet this nigga.
I was on live just talking, hey man.
What the fuck is this? I sound like Maco. What I was
I'm wrong.
Goddamn wrong.
Hey man, the Airplvne has definitely earned a lot of musical appreciation for me, I will say.
And that's love. I appreciate that.
The tape is dropping, but we just watched the visual for Control. We talked a little bit about it before, but there's a lot of undertones of different things that you can see. There's 2 scenes in particular. One, a bridge scene, and then you in the tunnel as well. Those are the 2 main scenes.
Right.
In terms of in the tunnel, you face a conflict. I'll say, what was that conflict? What was that meaning?
That character was actually named The Shape. You know what I mean?
Shape.
I wanted my homeboy to play that part, a bigger burly nigga. I know I'm burly, but I wanted a bigger
burly nigga in there.
You know, I do what I can. But the shape was actually symbolic for, you know, decisions maybe blocks in your life with, you know, financial hardship, losses.
Like you were just trying to get to the crib. You what you said what she had at the crib? She had some stamps.
Yeah, she had fruit. She got her stamps. I need them fruit snacks. If you ain't eating no fruit snacks, man, you ain't hitting nothing. I'm sorry.
So he was in the way between. He was in your way essentially, but it was something that stood there, and then it ultimately led you to, like I said, the bridge. You know, where you were in a different lane. It seemed
like the bridge is symbolic for my track of life. You know what I mean? A lot of times we cross bridges, overpasses. You know what I mean? And that's all that was symbolic for. The tunnel is decisions, the next level, the other side, because that's what we all trying to do. We're trying to get to the next level, trying to get to the other side. And when things arise, shapes arise, a lot of times we freeze. We be frozen in conflict because we feel like, oh man, this shit out of my control.
Right.
I just gotta roll with it. But at the end of the day, sometimes our conflicts is simply, we can solve them just by simply saying, hey, I'm about to do this shit. What?
And at the end,
It's that easy.
you know, first you was questioning your conflict, but you was saying like, what you want, like what you doing. But then at the end of the day, it wasn't a question that you had to ask; it was a statement
I had to demand.
that you had to make.
And also too, with that, us as black men in America, a lot of times when it comes to conflict, that's how we respond. We respond so aggressively. We don't like feeling uncomfortable. I don't like feeling uncomfortable. When something make me uncomfortable, I avoid it. You know what I mean? That stifled me so much in life because nothing grows in comfort.
Right.
Not even a flower.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
You
true.
got to drown it in water and you got to bury it in dirt. You know? So we respond to things so aggressively when sometimes it's just, you got to find your zen and you got to find your lane. You got to find your exit. My exit was behind my conflict. And it's like, hey, get out the way.
Get out the way. Move.
And you got to demand. Sometimes you got to affirm.
You in the video, you went from like I say like flashing money and jerseys to like, but like polo, like button downs and jeans.
That was my Lacoste and Vineyard Vines look. Shout out to Vineyard Vines. I like Vineyard Vines. People don't like Vineyard Vines like that. I love Vineyard Vines.
I didn't heard it. I ain't touched it.
It's the whale.
I seen it.
Yeah, I love
You
Vineyard
got
Vines.
good fabrics.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Very
still like the
fitting.
Ralphie though.
Yeah, that was Lacoste though.
Okay.
I like Ralph. I like Ralph too. You know what I mean? I've been wearing Ralph for a while.
But that was kind of two different. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
It's a sign of duality.
Okay.
You know, because I was that guy. I'm still that guy. We try so hard to renew ourselves and be different people. Man, accept who you are. Man, I could be that. I could be that guy. I could be that guy at any given moment. But I am also intellectual. I'm also eloquent in nature. You know what I mean? I could be dapper. I know how to articulate myself different.
Look at the album cover.
Yeah. So that's what that was about. Because anybody who knows me and knows me personally know, like, I denounce and I have a high disgust for people who flash money. Because I'm gonna tell you
You know,
that
Pooh Shiesties, you know what I'm saying? With this.
hey, Pooh got that bag. He want to do that. He do that. But I know some cats who really think that's what they have to do to get there. And it's like, bro, it's a whole population out here who is experiencing what you're experiencing. Everybody who has money relates to people who portray to have money. You know what I mean? But there's a whole market of people who don't have money. They may have income, they may have investments, but it's not wealth.
Levels.
You know what I mean?
Levels.
So I denounce that, especially on the level of like when you're trying to come up. Show people you come up. Ain't nothing wrong with people seeing you come up. That's why I feel like the game is not it's not a sprint. Nip really told the truth when he said it's a marathon. And when people go look back and they see the state of myself and they see the control, they see the bloggers, and they see the growth, they'll appreciate it because they know I wasn't portraying somebody I'm not.
Right.
Anybody who listens to my music and they know me personally, they know like, yeah, that's him.
Right.
That's really him. That's why, I mean, I'm an enigma. I'm a confusing person. I know I talk in code a lot of times. Sometimes I be thinking I be giving it straight forward. But people like, bro, like, you gotta break that shit down. What the fuck you talking about, Joey?
It's
Like,
good to
why the
recognize
fuck are
it,
you using all these words? And it's like, damn, I'm just talking. But those two visions of myself is me seeing who I was and still am, and recognize who I'm growing to be. You know what I mean?
Joey Vandal, Airplvne. Joey the Airplvne.
Man, please do not say my government name anymore. Please. We're doing good.
We're doing good.
Please don't.
I'm trying to let them know, man, so they, in case they wanna find you, man, and really, I know they can hear it in the music. You don't want to just look at it.
They're fine.
Well, I appreciate you for coming up here. Before I get you out of here,
I got to leave already. It's skip 30.
Man, I know, man. I know. This is how it is, man. We can't give it all to them. They gotta go get the project. There's a pocket on the project, though. I will say, closer to the end where you get into a real Ross's type, Rick Ross type, Nipsey type beat selection. Talking about, some empowerment. We actually do find out a bit about the side hustle, and I hate you with the shoe retail and who is white, you know what I'm saying? But I really encourage people to go check it out. Once again, let them know where they can find it. Let them know where they can find you as well.
Man, you can find me at Irplvne on all platforms, all social platforms. No Man's Land 923 on all platforms. I want to say before I go too, bro, like, keep going. Y'all keep going. It's a beautiful thing y'all doing, because at the end of the day, what we have down here, just look from what we came from the past couple of years to now. You know what I mean? People thinking that this is something that's gonna like fizzle out because it was based off one person, but it's really not. If we be true to it and we really say what it is, like, we the sound right now. But in terms of meeting, in terms of what you all do, the longer I do this, the more I find the appreciation for people who are behind the scenes. Because without y'all, it wouldn't be no us. So,
little different appreciation on bloggers now. It's still, I know those are still out there, but like you said, at the time, that's how it was.
Wait a minute, man.
You said I can't let you get out on that.
Cause see, that's your job. That's different. Yeah. Cause bloggers
was about something.
Bloggers is about niggas who really be living their life on keyboards and on the telephone. Cause niggas be gangsters on the telephone every time. And niggas be big businessmen on the telephone.
Yeah.
And when you meet them, and the business don't be fucking together.
Some other shit.
Yeah, there be some other shit. And bloggers are very much so real. And it's sad to say.
I love the video. I still say it's a movie. I know we got the controls out now.
I was working on the series, man. Everything got halted, man.
What's his name?
Blame COVID. I was out of control.
What's the rapper's name?
L.I.E. No Cap.
Yeah. They was bumping the song at the beginning. It was going in.
What the song? Draco.
Back in. Yeah, that's that shit.
I heard that song the other day from another guy. Sorry.
Airplvne in the building, man. Thank you again for coming through.
Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely, man. Make sure y'all give us a follow at this. Well, want to give a huge shout out to Creative by Visuals, behind the scene, behind the camera, Teasing Da Vinci, Teasing Flair. Make sure y'all give us a follow at This, That, and the Third interview series for more interviews, clips, and freestyles. Make sure y'all give me a follow at Stephen the Dream. That's STEPHEN Dream. We're going up all 2020. Fuck coronavirus. Fuck a racist. Y'all know that's how I feel. That's it, man. It's This, That, and the Third interview series.
This, That, and the Airplvne.
This, That, and the Airplvne, part 2. We out.